continuing on with trying to replicate our pretty budget. In the pretty budget column, we see that the titles here are not only centered horizontally, but also vertically. And see here, the item is at the bottom. So I want these three centered also vertically. So I'm going to highlight everything there. I'm going to click on one. This part is the left, right, or center, but here we can put the writing at the top, at the bottom, or in the middle. And let's choose the middle. Okay, so that's nice. Now what we have are, we see that there are borders, and there are borders around everything. So even down here, there's borders around that last part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight everything. And this is where you find the borders. So I'm just going to highlight these first three rows. And I'm going to click, and this will tell you, do you want a bottom border or a top border or a left border? We want all the borders. So I'm going to click that. And now I'm going to click here, highlight those, and go all the way down. I want to put borders here. See, what we see is grid lines, but we don't have borders. Now we have borders. I also want borders around here, so I'll put borders there. Good. But notice, like here, to separate the total money in and the amounts, there's a little double border. There are so many options, but under this, I would like a double border. So let me come back to the border option, and you can go down through, and here we see there's a top and double bottom border. So there's a top border, which is what we want, a top regular border, but we want a double bottom border. So if I click that, now you see there's a single top border and a double bottom border. Okay, now also though, it's like the outside one is more bold, and that is a very nice thing to have. So if I highlight all of those and I want to make a thick outside border, I very much like doing that. So then we see that there are different categories here. So I want to now insert the different categories. So do you see how this word savings, it's not like there's multiple cells. These cells from the home repair to the emergency fund have all been merged together. So from the home repair to the emergency fund, they're all merged together. So I want to merge those into one cell. And so this is what merge and center is. And those, what was the word? That was savings. So I'm going to type savings, cap lock, so I'll type savings. But this is not how it looks. It looks like that. First of all, it's very big. I'll put it to the same font size as above. So that was 16. And also, it goes down vertically. So let me click on that cell. I'm going to make it font 16. Maybe I'll even make it bigger. How about font 20? I'm going to bold it. But I want the orientation to be different, and that's this button, the orientation button. And we want it to go down. We also want it centered in the middle here. So instead of on the bottom, I want it in the middle. This is correct. I don't want that. I want it right in the middle. So there we go. Those are our savings. D is a little bit thinner. Let's make it a little bit thinner. So I'm going to click on that and make it thinner. Now, around that, it had a thick border. Let me make a thick border. Okay. It also has a thick border around. Do you see how this one, like this middle one, is thicker? So it's like there's a thick border around each of these 3 columns. So let me insert the thick border. There's a thick border here, a thick border here, and then also here. And then I like to see thick borders under the column heading. Yes, that's a thicker border. So now I will highlight the row labeler and thick border. All right, we're getting lots of thick borders. That looks good. Okay, next we have cash. So for groceries through Nick's spending, we have cash. So I'm going to merge those, and I'm going to write cash, still in cap locks. Now, we could go through and do all the steps above, but I'm going to do them all together later. So I'm just going to now highlight that in bold, and then we have bills that are going from the give to the central main power. So give to central main power, we will merge it. That's bills. And then for the, I'll put a border. And then for the debt, I will merge those, DEBT. I'll put a border there. Okay, now for everything in this column, so I'm going to click on D. For everything there, I want it, we'll say font 20. I want it bold. So click a few times. We unbold and now bold everything. And I want the orientation to be down. So that undid the first one. Let's redo it down, and it does it to all of them. Oh, and I want them centered. So here it will undo the first one. Now we do it again, and they all center. Very good. All right, we are almost done making our pretty budget. The next video will finish it up.